Teddy Bridgewater is here. We'll start it off right into questions. Let's go to Steve Reed and then Josh Klein.
Hey, Teddy. While Mike Davis is thinking of a nickname for you, I'm not sure if you heard him say that, but he's thinking of one. Anyway, what were your impressions of Robby Anderson when you got here, and maybe how has that changed as you've played now 5 games with him and you guys have built some chemistry together?
Well, I knew Robby prior to him arriving here, so I didn't really form, an impression or anything. But, he's just a guy who works extremely hard. It's all football. He's all about ball. And he attacks each day with the mindset of trying to be the best. So it's good to see him having the success that he's having.
Teddy, we heard a couple hours ago or an hour ago that KK Short's going to be out for the rest of the season, second straight season that he's having season-ending surgery. You've been out for the whole season. You've suffered these kind of injuries. What kind of a mindset is it when you have that injury and then to suffer something like that again? How kind of devastating would that be?
Injuries itself is tough, and we all are aware that it's part of the game. But you never want to see guys go down, especially one of the leaders on this team. So, KK is a guy who's been battle tested, and, it's just another bump in the road to add to his story. So, hopefully, we're going to continue to just, wish him well with recovery, pray for him, and just still be by his side.
All right, let's go to Nick Carboni and then Miles Simmons.
Teddy, it looked like you were out there with the Oakley face shield today. Can you tell us what it's like to practice in that? And if you had, it doesn't sound like you guys would have to wear them Sunday. It sounds like that might be done Saturday, but if you had to, is that what you would go with?
Yeah, I've been practicing with the visor every day. I just take it off on game day, but it's just me just trying to get a feel for it. I really don't like wearing these little masks in practice. So I'd rather just wear the helmet with the complete face shield, just so I can talk better and breathe better. But, if we have to wear them, then, I'll just wear it, especially if it's for my own safety.
Teddy, it seems like Curtis Samuel's been coming up for you guys really big on third downs. Matt Rule earlier was talking about how good he's been in those situations too. What have you seen that makes him so effective there?
Curtis, he's just a gamer. And, you walk into the huddle, he has that look in his eye, and he's a guy who's just hungry. He wants to make a play, and he's been coming up big for us on third down. So he's a guy we want to just continue to try to get involved more and not just third downs, and just try to find ways to get the ball in his hands because, great things happen.
All right, let's go to Joe Person and then Stacy Dales.
Eddie, wondered when the Saints traded for you and then during your time there, did you ever think that they might be kind of grooming you to succeed Drew?
I never really thought about that, but I've had conversations with Sean Payton. He always talked about the vision that he had for me, and the vision that he had for me, I'm living it right now. So he just always talked about trying to get me back to the position where I have my own team, and I can just be under center and starting on Sundays. So it's happening right now. I'm very appreciative that I had that opportunity to spend 2 years there and just grow as a player.
Hey Teddy, and you have found your own team. I'm curious to know, of all the offenses you've played in, including sort of a version of what you're doing with Sean, what is it about this offense that you love with Matt Rule specifically?
I really just enjoy the freedom, to put us in, positions to have success. Joe, he comes up with these great game plans, and if something comes up in a game, he allows me the opportunity to, get us in and out of bad plays, or, if I feel like the defense may have called a defense that may just, force us into a negative play. I have the ability to check out of different plays, maybe throw a go route to Robby or something like that. So just having, that trust from them, and that's been huge.
All right, let's go to Phil Orban and then Elena Getzenberg.
When you have so many dynamic guys, and I'm sure they all want the ball, how do you balance, like, I don't want to say keeping everybody happy, because obviously everybody's team first, but making sure you're getting it to the right guy? Does that make sense? Like, not necessarily keeping them happy, but kind of making sure it's the right guy each time.
I mean, honestly, it's just the system that we're running. I always say each week it could be a different guy. So, 1 week, Robby might go out there and catch 100 yards, 8 passes. The next week, DJ might go out there and have 100 yards. So Curtis could do it. One of the tight ends, Mike Davis, out of the backfield. So it's just, reassuring the guys that each week, it could be a different guy, and not just, getting caught up to what's being said on the outside. The more we could, eliminate, the distractions, I think everyone will continue to be happy.
Hey, Teddy, kind of going off Phil's question slightly, the tight ends just haven't gotten lately super involved in the receiving game. Is that something, I know you just said it's a different guy every week and all that, but is that something that you ever consciously I want to get the tight ends more involved or anything like that, just because they have, last week, no, they didn't catch one pass. So is that something you would all think about?
I mean, of course you want to reward those guys. They do a great job for us, in the run game. And then when we do call their numbers in the pass game, those guys have been making some plays for us. So, eventually you want to reward those guys for their hard work. But like I said, each week, it could be a different guy. So, we have a lot more football left. Who's to say 6 weeks from now you might be saying, oh, you're not throwing the ball to the receivers enough. So you never know how this league goes.
All right, let's go to Jason Brown and then David Newton.
Hey, Teddy, we do appreciate the time every week. I just was wondering, I don't know how much you've watched Chicago yet, but if there was one characteristic you would use to describe this year's Bears defense, what would it be?
It's a sound defense. Those guys, they play well in the red zone. They're great on third downs, and they're very sound. You don't really see them blowing many assignments. So, you just have to, be on point with your game plan from protection standpoint to route running to run schemes. Just want to make sure you put yourself in the right position and not let them, the soundness of their defense, force you into negative plays.
Hey, Teddy, sorry, your miracle in Miami didn't happen. So you got your final set on there. What's it mean to you and somebody like Matt Rule or anybody says you're one of the smartest quarterbacks they've been around? And is that something you've heard all of your career?
It's great to hear that from, your head coach especially. And I think, it's something that's followed me throughout my career. But, with Coach Rule just continuing to believe in me, that means a lot. He showed that he believed in me from, just bringing me here. So, for it to apply to the football field as well, it just means a lot to me.
What does it mean to you really? What does smart mean as far as a quarterback to you?
I mean, it's tons of ways to answer that. It could be, understanding situational football, protections, decision-making, understanding defenses, just different things. So, I don't really know in depth what he meant by that, but it just means a lot hearing that from him.
All right, we have time for 2 more, but we have to let Teddy go. So let's go to Miles Simmons and then finish with JB Ricks.
Teddy, you mentioned how good Chicago's been on third down. Does that put even more of a premium on getting production on first and second down so you can stay in those third and manageable situations?
Yeah, definitely. We want to make sure that we're efficient on first and second down, to put ourselves in position to be in those third and manageables. But also when we get to third down and manageable, we want to be able to convert. I think, over the past couple of weeks, we've gotten to third and manageable and haven't really had success. So we just want to make sure, of course, we're efficient on first and second down, but also, stand on the field, sustaining drives.
Hey, Teddy, thanks for taking out the time. JB Ricks here from Spectrum News 1. I just want to know from your perspective, how much easier is it for you to be the leader of this organization in your first year, especially when you're getting the results that you guys want when it comes to those wins with the winning streak going on right now? How much more comfortable and easier is it for you to be in the position that you are right now because of those wins?
Honestly, I think what's happening is, you have success and everyone forgets about the dark days. But it was during those dark days that, you really found out a lot about yourself and about this team. And, yeah, we've won 3 games in a row, but, prior to that, I could remember, a guy like Shaq calling us up in the middle of practice, and just pissed off, because we were losing, So it's a lot of things that go unseen. And when, things don't go well, that's when the true leaders step up. So, it's cool that we're winning right now and, everyone's happy, but at the same time, you want to make sure, as a leader, you keep everyone humble and remind them of what it felt like, a couple of weeks ago when everyone counted us out and, we were doubting ourselves. So, it's a time right now where you just want to continue to just keep guys humble, make sure that, they're locked in on their process, committed to their process. I think oftentimes I tell guys all the time when I was a younger football player, I thought I had a process and, after 3 weeks, I got bored with it. I felt like it wasn't as effective. But I just try to reassure to the guys that, man, it's your process that produces the results. So if you stay committed to your process, for 16 weeks, 20 weeks, however long, I'm pretty sure you'll get the results you want.
Thank you.
Teddy, we appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Thank you, guys.